right. Hey there. Good morning, everybody. It's just a few minutes after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Friday, Good Friday, the 29th of March, 2024. Coming at you live here from just north of Houston, Texas. My name is Christopher Inks, and I run a company called Texas West Capital, where we forecast markets and teach you to do the same. We've got one of the, actually the most comprehensive market forecasting and trading education system out there right now. And so, we take a lot of pride in what we do. And I show you guys, if you follow me on social media, usually Twitter is where you'll find me most active. But, I often post charts and thoughts. And of course, I do Wednesdays with Scott Melker there, Wolf of Wall Street's on his show. Co-host on Tuesdays with Gary Cardone Spaces, where we talk about Bitcoin, and how to maybe approach it, how to understand it in a way that maybe you're not really used to, because we tend to view the world through our own socioeconomic status, and it makes it hard to recognize what may be happening. It also makes it hard to understand how those in other socioeconomic statuses, especially above ours, actually look at wealth and assets and things. And so, again, we do a lot of that. And you catch me on other shows, sometimes with Kelly Kellum, sometimes just wherever else. So anyway, hopefully you guys are doing all right there. Who's here already? Today we were supposed to have Fibbo. Fibbo Swanee, he usually joins me every other week, but as usual, that's only if, unless he has something that comes up, right? And so he had something come up this week, so he's not able to be here. So I said, well, heck, why don't we just go ahead and do chart request? You guys liked that the last time we did that. So we're going to do it here in just a minute. Let me say hello to a few people here. I see Revy's here, -3. Thank you for tuning in from Chicago. Glad to have you here. Data, what's up, man? Gold Docker, what's up, buddy? Been a while since I've seen you. Mr. Andrew Bennett, if you guys are in, in the our group coaching or in our C3 memberships, you'll know who Mr. Andrew Bennett is. He is quite the finder of opportunities in the markets, and he gladly shares them openly with you guys over there at Texas West Capital at our trading academy. Mr. Corey, I always stop myself from saying the last day because I never want to screw it up. Is it Geiselman? Anyway, happy Easter. Good to see you here. Alvin, what's up, man? Alvin's one of our newer members. He's been in here for a little bit now, and I love Alvin because Alvin, man, he steps up there, and I'm telling you guys, the way we put it all together, it's so you come in and you interact. You are going to learn so much faster, so much better if you interact with the community that's there, and ask questions and share your thoughts and ask questions about other people's thoughts, and discuss. I mean, it really does. You guys, you may not believe it, but once you do it, you'll find out. You jump in a lot better with that. So good to see him here. Aardvark, Sort, what's going on, buddy? Alvin says, he's talking about, he says, let me show you right here. He says, the hot takes, take it off with masks. So we did a mask update or a hot takes. Hot takes, if you guys don't know, hot takes is something we do that our group coaching used to only be the old people got access to it, but now we allow our C3 membership to also have access to it. And these are like the best potential stock and crypto setups that I find throughout the month. So one that I keep bringing up because it's just, I don't always have time to go back and look through and find out. But Cody USDT, man, that thing, we put that at the end of October, and by February is up like over 500%. Mask is doing great. We put that in we caught the pullback low on that, and we put it in there in January, and now it's up. It's really shooting up today, but I think it's up like almost 100% or something like that. And so we do that kind of thing, with all these different, again, stocks and cryptos and whatnot. So the reason why I do that is twofold. One is because the whole idea of what we do, including our daily, we've got like 20 plus charts that we update daily. And we do that so that you can see how to apply what you're learning in the real market and to consistently apply it, and how to change it as things don't work out exactly as you had thought they might go, right? The idea of what we do is to make is to make sure that you understand how to trade, right? And so the other thing, the other part of hot takes is just so you can make money while you're learning, right? So you come in and you pay, monthly or yearly or whatever you're paying, but you can make back that money throughout the year taking advantage of the hot takes. And so, it's a twofold thing that we do. Usually pretty great returns on them. They're quite significant. The best one I ever did, guys, and those folks that might be here right now might remember from about, I don't know, probably 3 years ago or something. We did naked. It was a stock, and we got it down at like 8 or 10 cents, about that area there. It eventually rallied to around 40 or 50 bucks. That is by far the best hot takes I've ever posted. But yeah. So absolutely fantastic. I mean, imagine where you'd be if you took that, right? So, again, it's not just, hey, send us your money and that's all it. We give you opportunities to make money along the way as well, so that you can continue to learn and build your, um, build your ability, to forecast and to trade, along the way there. But anyway, let's see. Diego, what's going on, man? You weren't expecting the stream? Diego's one of my favorite people. You can guess where he's from. It says Chile, right? Frank, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you on time as well. He says Happy Easter. Sats is here as well. Who else we got here? Jose, what's up, man? Wazobia Dollars. Always good to see you checking in. Gray Dawn, damn it. Happy Easter, man. Gordon, good to see you. Jared. Who else we got in here? Ship City, what's up? Let me see here. Oh, there's Alvin right there. What does he say? TWC is an unreal education. In 2 months, my trading has improved significantly. I appreciate you saying that, man. Again, guys, it's the goal of what I do. If what I do at Texas West Capital doesn't actually help you, then there's no reason for me to do it. I make my money trading, guys. We have a business and we're trying to expand the business. Two things. One is I'm entrepreneurial anyway. I'm driven to build things. But the other thing is that the real goal is to help you. There's so much crap out there, guys. You don't even realize it a lot of times. Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to learn to do it on my own. And I've got all this free information out here. Well, the problem is most of that free information you get online are half truths or outright lies. And most of the time it isn't because people are trying to lie to you. It's because they don't even know that they're lying to you. They don't know what they don't know. They just found it. They went, hey, man, I can just go ahead and post this up here because this is what everybody else is saying. And then you wonder why stuff doesn't work. So, our goal, our intent with what we do at the Trading Academy is that we seek to actually give you real, true, actionable education, real information, stuff that I've learned over, it's about to be 30 years that I've been doing this now, guys. I'm going to tell you what right now. You don't stay in for 30 years unless you figure it out. You can't. You can't barely stay in a couple of years. What's really sad is I saw a statistic not too long ago that traders are generally, there's a group of traders, like a certain number of traders, percentage of traders that are in for like 8 or 10 years, consistently losing money. They lose for 8 or 10 years consistently. Nothing ever changes. They keep hoping, right? But we try to address all that, with our trading and everything. We try to get you to understand how and why markets why do they really move like they do? And then we give you the tools to trade it effectively, consistently, right? Along the way, I try to help you guys understand the emotional and the mental side of it, the psychological side of it, because that's going to be one of the worst things that you have to deal with as a trader. Okay. And a lot of people, they come in, they're like, oh no, just tell me target, just tell me where to go, just tell me what to do. Well, the problem is, what if I'm gone one day? Or what if I just decide I'm tired one day? I just want to go enjoy life. I don't want to do, this all day, every more, I enjoy helping people. Don't get me wrong, but I can't lie to you. Maybe one day I'm going to be 50 years old. I might decide at some point that, you know what, I'm just tired of doing it now. Then what do? You can go buy a specialized indicator, but what happens if that stops working? Or what happens if that person stops updating it. Here's the thing about indicators, guys. If you know how to trade, like if you know the stuff that I teach you, indicators will become exponentially more helpful if they're good indicators, right? Even one-off indicators. If you don't know what you're doing, you might be able to make some money with them, but long-term profitability, I've never seen it happen with any indicator. Just like a one-off indicator all by itself. I've never seen it happen. 30 years. I'm not saying it can't happen at some point, but at this point, they do 30 years, never seen it. The more you understand about how and why markets really move like they do and how to trade them effectively and proper risk management, the exponentially more effective those indicators become. So just something to think about there. Okay, guys. Let me see you guys. What's up here? Mark, good to see you. Brian, George says working on a bank holiday. Is it a bank holiday? Is it a bank holiday? I thought it would be, but my credit union's open, which is weird because they seem to take off all the time. Bernie, good to see you. Lisa, hello. Good. Okay, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to go. Jared, I see you checking in up there too. I don't think I said hello. Let's see here. I can't even think about losing me. That's life, right? I'm old. I'll be 50 years old. When it's my time, it's my time. You never know, right? David, good to see you, man. So, I guess we'll get started here real quick. Let me see. Oh, just real quick, guys. I just want to show you this real quick. Let me put it in here. This is our trading academy here, guys. So this is everything you have access to, depending on if you're we do have a small group of mentor students. We've got our group coaching. We've got our C3. Fibbo's got his threshold theory. But this right here, this is what you're going through here. The things that you have access to as we kind of get through all this. Got a whole futures section in there, bonds, got educational tracks there, your Elliott wave theory, Wyckoff theory, price action concepts, our mentor program for our mentor students there. We even do run signals, guys. We run a signal service. We've got crypto out there right now. We just closed a big C pool successful trade there. But my signals are not like what you guys normally think of signals. Most people that do signals, they have it automated. It may or may not hit. You're going to get a lot of losses along the way. And so my signals are actually, listen, I look through it. There's not necessarily one every day. Sometimes there might be one or two in a day. Other times it might be 5 or 6. Sometimes it might go a week before there's another signal. But our success rate is pretty great. We've have a couple of losses, but man, oh man, the success is just really pretty damn great with that. And we're about to release our stock signals as well. Now that we've got automated, we've got the automated signal triggers now. So I no longer have to come in and say, hey, listen, it did this last night while I was sleeping. It'll automatically tell you when it hits the take profit, when it hits the entry, when it hits the stop loss on those right there. And we do have an options one as well that I've got for some people right now. We may or may not release that fully out to the public. And then, of course, Fibbo's threshold theory and their channels there. But this is what you're getting access to, guys. And so, like, if you jump in here and you jump into the, let's say, Bitcoin, right? You'll come up there, you have your information. These are the charts and the updates that I post in here. You've got a chat section right here where you have a lot of people, chatting away and doing their thing there. Again, see Mr. Bennett, always in there. But yeah, again, we got the chat spaces and all these as well. You got section members, shows you what members are a part of that, stuff like that. You got your messages up here. You got your alerts up here. It lets you know when you're live, as you can see right here. So it lets you know that events here are live. Weekly public live stream right here. So, as they're up there, it keeps them all. It lets you know 10 minutes ahead of time. So this is, I haven't shown anybody. This is our platform that we use. It does have an app with it. You can jump on that as well. But yeah, it's good times. Let me find share screen here. Let me get up my chart. Let's go right here. catch up to you guys here again. Let me see. What are you guys saying here? Oh, it's a bank holiday in the UK, George was saying. Ah, okay, okay. Now you let us know where you're at. See, now we know. I should set up an office in the UK. Let me see here. Let me get it. You got Hut on there. What you got here? Please put me out of my misery and cover INV, Matt says. I don't like the sound of that, man. Chris needs to add a channel just for Andrew's winners. It is great. It is great. What's up, Mr. Lamb? Always good to see you here. Vela, stop pushing up, man. One way that you guys will really kind of get me not to do something is to spam it. Okay. I get to everything that I can. I try to get to the order it comes in. But you know, it's limited time, so not able to get to everything, but I try. When you spam something in there, it's like your toddler, daddy, 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 mommy, 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 right? It drive you nuts. Don't do that. It's not cool. Okay. All right, guys. Let me jump in. Let's get started. First thing here, real quick. We've got this. I don't know if you guys caught it, but there was this massive USDC inflow today. 1.4 billion USDC deposited on Coinbase today. Okay, guys. So, you know, with that coming in and with the market generally being as it is, and with ETF flows still being bullish and whatnot, I mean, it's hard to find a bearish reason for this. I know people like, you know, the first thought is, oh, well, they're bringing it into margin short. The charts don't suggest that. See, that's the thing. The charts don't suggest that. Open interest doesn't suggest that. We had the 9.5 billion Bitcoin options expiry quarterly this morning, early this morning. And as you saw, price kind of pushed down from 70 and change to 69 and change. It wasn't like a whole lot. But that 70 area the 70 strike price was a pretty heavy area. 100,000 strike price is also pretty heavy right now too, just so you guys know. Max pain, I think, for longs was around 50 or 51,000. I think that probably moves up to around 56, 57,000 now. When we talk about options, max pain for shorts, guys, is right around 72, 73,000. It's just overhead. That's just overhead. What does that mean? That means if we push through that 72, 75,000 area, there's likely to be a short squeeze. And that could get us 78, 80,000 on a squeeze. Not that it has to be the top of the rally, but just the squeeze itself. But there is a lot of shorts. A few days back, I think there was going to be something like a $3.5 billion liquidation in shorts if we broke out through 73,000. So, you know, again, when you're looking at that and then you see USD coming in like that, I know it's not what, you know, if you're emotionally bearish or something, you know, what you want to hear or what you even want to think, or what, you know, you're probably doing this, right? But when you're looking at the market objectively and you're looking at these things, the setup is there. The setup is there. Now, it doesn't mean it has to happen, but the setup is there, guys. Okay. And that's what you need to pay attention to. Does that make sense? So, yeah. So, pretty interesting kind of thing coming up there. Here is the big Bitcoin chart. Look at that, man. Look at how beautiful that chart is, guys. Remember when y'all were arguing with me down here that this was not accumulation? No, none of y'all did that, right? None of y'all did that. But yeah, you know, again, we were talking about from the June swing low here in 22 that this was the beginning of accumulation. And then as we were doing these lower highs and lower lows, I said we'd probably get a spring or a terminal shakeout here, probably around, you know, 15 to 16,000. And at that point, you know, we'd be looking for it to kind of, if it was just a spring, to pop back up into it, if it was a terminal shakeout, to build its own range, which it did here, rally up. And if you've been following me at that time, guys, you know, I basically drew this out, all this movement here, right? Only thing that's been different on this so far has been that we pulled back twice here. We created a running flat right here. So this is, you know, this is accumulation. This is your jump across the creek. show of strength. This becomes your back up the edge of the creek, back up the edge of the creek, which is nothing more. It's just what Kofians speak for retesting your previous resistance as support. And of course, took out. And you'll remember right here, everybody in this area kept talking about how it was going to go down, going to go down, go down. And I said, well, until it does, my bet is that we're heading up higher. And so remember, they were looking at it and they were like, okay, rejection here. And then it didn't get rejected. And then they were like, oh, it's going to come back and retest. And I told you, I said, no, this is 6-7 months of sideways here. The odds are it's not going to pull back. We're going to get a reaccumulation on the rise there, where you just kind of overlapping here, reaccumulation happening here rather than pulling back like this did here, right? Reaccumulates here. And that's what happened. And so here we go. We continue to go, guys. We continue to go. And right now we're basing right here at the all-time high. This is the 3-day Stoke RSI. Dipped into oversold, busted right back out, threatening to cross bullishly right now. RSI remaining bullish. Just because you're in overbought, I need you guys to understand, just because you're in overbought does not mean price has to come back down right away. All being overbought on RSI or whatnot just means that your bullish trend is very, very strong. That's what it means. Now, eventually, it's going to come back out of it, and price is going to turn around, get a pullback, right? But just once it's up here, you need to understand that that just means that your trend is really strong. If you're down here in oversold, the trend you're in is really strong. The pullback or the downtrend is really strong. That's all it means. So we remain really bullish there on RSI, Stoke RSI, reset down and oversold, busted right back out. We have a great looking hammer candle right here. Got a smaller one right here. Dipped into this wick right here at this triangle. Coming back up, guys. Again, that's 70. Basically, this area right here is all that shorts, all these shorts right in this area right here. So again, you're popping through that. I've got my count as it stands right here. I may need to change it at some point, but right now, looks like we got wave circle 3, minimum expected target at 86,920. This wave circle Roman numeral 3 here, this 1, 2, 3, based on this interior count is actually closer. This is the minimum. If we just went from right here, that's minimally where we'd expect to get it, right? 1618. Actually, with the subdivisions of waves in here, it looks like it's going to be closer to around 170,000. And that's just wave 3 of this larger wave 3. So again, when I talk about minimum, probably around 240,000 for this cycle, it's just based, if this count continues to play as is, that's what we're looking at. And it could go even, it could go even higher. But so that's what I'm looking at until things change, right? Let me see here. So yeah, so this is all, this is what we're looking at here. 3-day looks great here. Weekly continues to look good as well. Weekly, a few weeks back, we had the doji up here at the top, which is a pause, potential reversal. There was no follow through. Instead, what you got basically was this large demand wick and this little tiny body at the top here. That tells you that there's significant demand in here. Significantly more demand than there is supply coming down. So there we go, popping back out, and now we're up here again. People tell me, oh, look, but it's so overbought, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing I said already, right? Overbought just means that it's a strong trend, a strong uptrend, right? Here is where it was when we broke out above 2017. Here's this right here. Look where we were. Basically the same area we were right here. In the RSI, Stoke RSI again topped out prior, and right there around the week of November 2nd, and stayed overbought until the week of January 18th. Stayed overbought, almost topped out overbought for a couple of months as we just got big candles and just took off. So, again, showing you that should get you where you're over here and go, okay, well, it's overbought. Yeah, that just means strong trend. That's what you should be thinking. By the way, this aggressive move, you move sideways between the pivot and the R1, this aggressive move halfway up into the R3, I don't see any reason looking at that why we won't hit at least the R5. You don't have to think 140, 170, 240. You should at least be looking at 117,000 at least. Because structurally, this price action setup, that's what usually happens. You'll get at least there. Usually you'll break out higher. So everything else aside, just looking at this price action setup in here and this aggressive movement up, I've shown, if you guys have been following me for, the last few years, I've shown you this setup on different time frames, different charts over and over and over again. And it just almost 100% of the time does exactly what I just said there. Rallies clear through the R5 or higher. So just something to think about there. If you can get over emotional bearishness, right? So yeah. Let's see here. So what if wave 5 is at 170 target? I mean, it shouldn't be. It should just be the wave 3. It should be the wave circle 3 of the larger wave 3, right? So you have to go wave circle 3, wave circle 4, wave circle 5, which is just the larger wave 3. And you have wave 4 and wave 5 still there. Yeah, guys. Hey, if you got a real quick second, do me a favor. Give me a follow, leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, whatever you're doing, wherever you're following me on this, okay? I know I'm simulcasting here on Facebook, Twitter, X there, Twitch, and YouTube. Lord have mercy, I couldn't even think of it. So if you all could do that, would be great. That just helps the video get found a little bit more. I'd appreciate that. So that's what I'm kind of looking at there, okay? So again, not feeling any reason to be bearish at all. So nothing has changed here, guys. Remember, this was around $9. I told you should buy. Here we are. We've reached 210 already. R5 pivot should be an easy target. We should go up, quite a bit further than that, I think. But that's already $410. So from here, that's over 100% rally. It's not going to go straight up, guys, to go up and pull back along the way, but should be an easy target. Nothing's changed for me as far as Sol goes on that as well. All right, guys. Let me kind of scroll up here real quick. Let me see here. What do we have? Let me see. What kind of chart are you guys looking at? Scrolling through the comments here, guys. I'll find it here. Bone, huh? Okay. Let's see what we got here. What's today? 29th, right? Let's see here. I assume it's USDT you're talking about. Mexi. It's awful exchanges it's on. What the heck? Be careful you don't get screwed on this. Awful exchanges. That's just a bunch of sideways. Why do y'all get involved with stuff like this? Oh, it's awful. Let me see here. We got a lot of volume coming in. Let's see on this previous one. Still a good bit of volume. This next one, rejection, pulls back. Let me see here. This is just ugly. Let's see here. There's just nothing really clean or nice about this. I think this should, you know what? Let me do this. Let me get some extra help here real quick. Yeah, see, looks like a 3 there. Okay. So if I'm looking at this, I mean, we got it pulled back there almost 70 and a half. Let's see. So, I mean, I would look for a breakout here above that point right there. Whoops. What is that? 1.1105? That would be that's the break I'm looking for to go, okay, maybe the bottom's in. Get to put on all the, dang it, let me put on the time frames here. Yeah, see, and that's right there around that weekly pivot. Uh yeah, that's what I would look for first. And then that would give me potential target up here, $3.06 or so. $6.50 would be initial target off that. Yeah, to me, just looking here real quick, looks like maybe a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, and then A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. So minimally, that'd be where I'd be looking. But you need to get a breakout above that 1.105, 1.1105 to go, okay, yeah, the bottom's probably in. We're heading up there. So that's what I'd be looking there. Let me see here. CAVA. I know I could just throw a whole bunch of, well, I'll just do this. What do we got here with Kava? And why do you guys always want things charted when they've broken out and peaked out and everything? Don't do that either. You guys need to be in, before things take off. That's the other big thing. What we got here? Well, this looks quite extended. Yeah. That's a lower high there. What is that? 37.48, 37.64. Yeah, that's a lower high. Yeah, I would be looking for. It looks like it's probably going to do a pullback here from where we're at. Yeah, I would be interested a pullback towards 61.45 or so to begin with. That would be my first target. Second target right around 58.65. If it continues down below that. And then I'd probably look here if it continued pulling down right here around the 56.75. I do believe it's probably going to, it looks like it wants to turn around here. Let me zoom in a bit more here. So I would be looking for a breakdown. It's kind of this red ascending support here. So let me see here. Probably below like $67.80, somewhere like that. You're looking for a breakdown through. If you can get that, that's going to signal, okay, maybe that tops in, and then you want to see it follow through with the breakdown below this swing low right here, which is 66.25. You can get a nice move through that. It signals that the top's probably in there, and then you look at those three targets coming down and see if it can grab a bid there. But that'd be where I'd be looking at right off. Let's see here. MPL. Do you mean Maple as a crypto, or do you mean MPL on the London Stock Exchange, Mercantile Ports and Logistics Limited? So you guys got to let me know what you're actually talking about, okay? Let me know on that, and I'll get back to that, Brian. Let me see here. Algo. I know you're looking for Algo USDT. Look at you. Now let's do it this way. What do we have? Well, it looks like 1, 2, 3 here, ABC, and we broke out above B, so we should be going up locally. Didn't quite get the 1618 on that. Locally, we have a minimum expected target here of at least 42.5 cents. Yeah, this is a ABC. It's 3 waves down, and we've broken back out above that. So that locks that in as 3 waves. That's corrective. So just based on that there, local target of 42.50. DMTR. Oops. Let's see how many charts we can get through today, guys. So DMTR USDT, or I'm going to assume that's what it is because I don't think it's 3D Matrix Limited over the counter thing. You'll have to tell me if it isn't. This is where you guys, again, you need to be more clear to me about what you're looking for, okay? Because I do stocks as well. Oh, man, that's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. Oh, you have this accumulation down here up into reaccumulation right here. That beautiful jump across the creek. Volume looks good throughout that range. That move up. So This might be a triangle right here. So it's kind of like A, B, C, D, and then E. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is a triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4 probably, and 5 still to go here. Yeah, it's almost 38.2 pullback. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Yeah, see, that's an ABC right there. So we're looking for a breakout above this swing high right here, which is 23.68. That should add confidence to it. And 0.372 would be the target based on that correction. But yeah, it looks like 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 is a triangle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Working on a 5 higher there. Where does that get us? Yeah, so it gets us right at that previous resistance there. Let me see here. BDP USDT. What we got? What do we got? Pull these up. P. Well, this is pretty nice. Well, look at all that volume that came in down here, man. And then no follow through. Look, guys, look. Holy crap. If you see something like this where you've got it's like no volume and all of a sudden you get this huge volume and it, price spikes up locally and then it pulls back and it doesn't really break down. Instead it goes back. You should be in that. There's no reason you should not be in that. That is a ridiculous amount of volume coming in there. Somebody went in big. Let me see here. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. Pull back 70.5. Yep, 70.5. 1 and 2. That would give us a 3 up here, $26.50. 6.58. Expected wave 3. So we've got what looks like a leading diagonal here. 3-wave pullback. So you get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. This looks like 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get a 5. So from this point, if we can break out above 49.96, 0.4996. Oops. We can break out above that. We should be looking for a minimum expected target at basically 0.884 or closer to a secondary target up here of around 1.5. I'd be looking for before you get a bigger pullback, continuation up, but still looking up here around $26.50 for that wave three, that larger wave three there. Let me see here. RTY. Oops. There we go. Yep, still looks good. Remember, this is my one. I had this big accumulation range here. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Could potentially be an ending diagonal going here. So we go like an ABC, but I've got a target right now of 22, 27, and 90 cents or 0.9 index here. So that's my target. That actually happens to be this volume shelf up here, the high volume node, right around the EQ of this larger, of this distribution range up here. But yeah, we get that. And I would look for a rejection there to pull us back down into this low volume node here, right around the bottom of wave 4. So probably around 1930 or so on that. But RTY still looks good. Talked about going long down here, guys. If you were following back in November of last year, we got this tiny bit of a spring down here. Man, if you'd been long there, that's an easy trade. Let's say you just waited until that week closed out. This week, you would have already been up almost 30% on that. Easy trade. Just pop it in and go, right? What else we got here? Hut. 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 I haven't looked at this one since January, looks like. Okay. Let me zoom out a bit here. So basically the rally up and there was a pullback of just around 70.5%. This is a throw under of this range. Also, if I'm looking at this, I would assume this is reaccumulation here. So this would be a spring right here with the volume. Yeah, volume isn't on here. Volume is 17.963. We have a test of that spring right here. 11.742, successful test. Rally up, head up. So this right here looks like a leading diagonal. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. If it's going to continue further, it could potentially reach 14 and a quarter or 14 and 3/4. But it does look like it is 2, 3, 4, 5. Zoom in a little bit now. Yeah, see ABC 1, 2, ABC 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, AB. You know, it could be topped out. There's a big candle right there, a good volume on it. But if it does continue breaking up higher, we'll look toward that 14 and 3/4, which puts you right there around that descending channel resistance. And that would give you a pullback down here toward, toward probably $9.50. Right here, you can look across and see that's a good area of support and resistance. But right around the EQ. If it continues to pull back from where we are and we say, okay, well, wave 5 is done there, we'll look for it down here at this daily pivot right around $8.68 or so. Be the target. So if it breaks down from here, we'll say it's done. We'll look there and then we'll head up. But if it continues rallying higher from here, we'll look up here toward that 14 and 3/4 area. In either case, it is the wave 3 that will break out through this resistance. A lot of volume, a lot of price action. So again, you look at this idea that you've got, the spring successful test here, last point of support again on lesser volume. You rally up, you pull back, and then you get your jump across the creek right here, which signals that reaccumulation is complete. Heads up. You can see there's a lot of volume coming in right here on this daily candle. Look at how that volume spike came in there. Yeah, I think we might get a little bit local pullback and then rally up higher. I think we might still be headed toward that way, toward this target area, basically of the descending channel resistance. But again, if it does kind of, break on down or keep breaking on down, then we just assume that this is done here. We've pulled back for 1 and 2, and then we got 3 coming. If we get that bigger target, wave 3 will be up here around $38.50 or so. Minimum expected wave 3. 5 waves minimum expected 53 and a half or so. But that's just this local one here. Of course, we do have the bigger count coming off that, but for right now, that's fine. That's all we need to see there. Putting Matt Morrow out of his misery here with INV. Let's see what we got here. Or is that a, you talking about inverse Dow? You guys are killing me. Come on, guys, you're killing me here. I'm going to go with that's what you're looking at. I don't think you're looking at the London Stock Exchange, are you? See, what we teach you guys do is how to get in down here on your own, not even with me telling you, but this is what, if you pay attention to what I'm teaching you at TWC, this is where you'll be entering trades all the time. Well, much more times than not. And you just let that thing run. And you use proper risk management, which means you're going to use very little to make a huge return when it's done. Let me see here. All right, we got the breakout above the pivot. We get the retest of the pivot. Rally up here, still trying to find support on that. I'm going to assume this is 1, 2, and then maybe 1. Actually, that's fine. And maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Yeah, 1, 6, 1, 8 there. All right, so this looks like no, that shouldn't be because you're not going to come back into it. So this is ABC 1, 2, ABC 3, 4. And then what do we have here? Swing low at 30. Swing low at 29.82. It's a lot of volume coming at the top there. Let's see if this works. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, or ABC. So here's what we're going to do. So we actually have an ABC, ABC, ABC. So I think we're doing a triangle here, which would make it a fourth wave. So I'm looking for a breakout above wave B here. And that'll give us an expected target based on the height there. That correction at 143.70. Yeah, so it might be like an A and then a B as a triangle and then C up here to finish out wave 5. So again, maybe A, B as a triangle. See, because you have a ABC right here and then you have an ABC right there. This looks like a triangle. So if we break out above wave B, that's $75.78. That should indicate we're heading up here to about 143.70, which gets us up to that next level there. Let me see here. We got to catch up with you guys real quick because you see what you're saying here. Gosh, man. Lots here, lots here, lots here. LTC does look good. File continues to look good. File, you should be looking at $100. I'm telling you right now. Is that Arbian? I hope I didn't screw up your name, man. But yeah, File. I like File still. I think overall, I think you should be looking above $100 with that. Let me see here. Tomy USDT. Oops. Update on that. Let's see here. I'm telling you guys, if you're not dating your charts and listing the name on it or whatever, you're really making it difficult for yourself. If you're anything like me and you look at so many damn charts. Every time. I've always got new dates on there. So I know what I was thinking prior and where I'm looking at it headed to go after that. It just makes trading that much better. Told me, thank God I got a KuCoin at least here. Ooh. Okay. I know ooh is probably not what you wanted to hear me say, right? Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see if we can make some sense out of this. As far as the channel goes, I don't like that we, resistance to support and then to resistance, and then support. I like when you have patterns, you want to see, strong moves between support and resistance alternating. So, as far as it being a channel, not really thinking so because you get that move back down here and back up. But let me see here. Again, guys, if you get a chance, do me a favor, please. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me. What we're doing here. I do stuff like this all the time for y'all. Your 3-day looks good. 3 days Stoke RSI almost bottomed out and oversold here, crossing bullishly. RSI is trying to print higher lows. Let me see what else we got on the weekly here. Weekly didn't, it just got above neutral here. Still kind of hanging around down here in RSI oversold area. Zoom in a little bit more. This looks like a third wave right here. Yeah, 1618 there. But so you go 1, 2, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives you 3. Working on 4 here. Usually this area is where you're looking for the pullback. Yeah, see there's an ABC coming on there. I would look for a reversal around this area. Get this nice candle here. You got the pullback into it. It's an ABC. Potentially a target up here. Well, the R5 pivot basically on the 15-minute 0.9994. So basically 1. So basically at $1 is where you're looking. Local target here. If we can get a reversal from around where we're at. But it does look like 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll give us 5. So we've got a 1 and a 2 here. And then we may have a 1 within A, B, C as a W, A, B, C is an X, and A, B, C is a Y. So a WXY there. But yeah, locally here, if we can get that breakout above this kind of 93-cent area up here, that should indicate we're heading to that $1. But I want to see a reversal from right around where we're at. If we keep on coming way back down here, that changes things, and I wouldn't look at that anymore. You'd have to come back and look at it again. This count's kind of crazy, though. If I'm looking at here, I'm saying, okay, well, no. Yeah, I would just right now pay attention to what's going on here, see if we can get that. The pullback from there, then. I'd look right around this 86.7 to 89.7 range for the target on that. And then minimum rally from there. If they're on $1.06, $1.07. So the idea is we're looking for a rally from this area up here and come back into that box area. And then again up there toward that. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap here. You're going to get that. You see how that target gets you right here, that previous support? little low volume node area. Yeah, but we have to get the reversal off this kind of local area here first. Again, if we're getting back down here to like 83 cents or something, don't 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 follow this because we have to take another look at it. Um, I mean, the hourly looks nice. I like that. I like that. The 12-hour candle right here. It's a nice big candle. Rallied into the R1, pulling back. It rejected there. We definitely want to see that follow through higher on that. Just looking here at the daily, seeing if we see anything. I like that support has continued to be found right here. So, we dipped down to this area. We came back. Here we go. We dipped through it right back up. Support, wick down, but closing back up. Wick down, close just below it immediately. Close right back up. Tweezer bottoms on that, rallied up. I mean, this is what you want to see for a support area. I think that may mark the bottom on that. And you had this good resistance right there as well that it broke out impulsively through here. So you just want to see it continue to close above this kind of range that we're at here. Just follow itself up. Yeah. It all depends on what happens locally here. Can we get that rally from, around where we're at? That's what I'm looking at. Let me see. Let me catch up with you guys here still. Let me see what we got here. Iron. Is that a crypto? Let's see. I'll pull up a file in a minute here. No, it's just iron. Okay. Iris Energy. Okay. Gotcha. See, everybody got me thinking it's all going to be crypto here. I'm like, iron, never heard of it, but okay, I'll look. All right. And we are sideways right here, right now. Since that swing high on March 21st. More though. Still have a ton of selling trying to get into this. That's why you're not getting these. You're getting a lot of overlap. You're not getting like a lot of really big advances through it. You see all this red. This is a lot more selling going on. A lot stronger selling going on. You have these very little low green areas, right? A little bit of buying, but significant selling going on. But on the bright side for the selling, I mean, if you're bullish, is that you're getting the higher lows and you're getting the higher highs still in there. What does the weekly look like? Oh, weekly's resetting down here. Look at that. It reset down and oversold. It broke out and crossed bullishly this week. So that's kind of something that you want to see. Let's see here. So this looks like ABC. These all look like ABCs coming here. Let me see. Where's the low here? 280, 279. There's a low there. So again, 3 waves up. Okay. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be a triangle. 4 and a 5 there. So this pullback then, 50%. Let's swing higher. 805, 806. Got tweezer tops up there. $279 is the swing low. All right. So I'm looking at a 1 and a 2 here. It's a lot of sideways on that. If that's 1 and 2 incomplete, that gives us a 3 at 77, 75. But structure's kind of eh. So let's look at this as maybe how deep is that pullback? Pullback so deep though. Because I'm looking at this right here thinking maybe we've got some overlap, so maybe like a triangle like A, B, C, D, E. So just in case, this is what I would do. If this is a triangle here, A, B, C, D, E, then breaking out above that wave B there at $9.69 will give you an expected target of $20.90. I like that, actually. I like that better than the other one. Yeah, so I would look for, if we can get an impulsive breakout here, that'll be your first clue that that may be complete above this weekly pivot area. So basically $6.14. Impulsive means larger candle spread, large spike of volume, and it flows above that. That'll mean that bottom, that low bit that's probably done there. Your first target would be 869 here. Your second target would be 969. And once you break 969, you should be looking at $20.90, which puts you right around the high there. But you can see this has got a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're 5 done. And if that's the low, energy's been doing well this year. I know this is from, beginning of the very end of 22, beginning of 23. But energy in general has done pretty well against SPY recently. So, and the chart right here looking pretty good. You're getting a lot of volume here, which is what you like to see. See how the volume's very low coming into the low? And then volume starts picking up and the candle spreads start getting larger overall here. That's a trend with that volume expansion and those candles generally getting larger. So you're in an uptrend. So I think this is just corrective here. I think we do break out higher and head up there toward that $20.90 area. Let me see here. MicroStrategy, huh? Come on. Absolutely beautiful run. Look at this monthly, guys. Insane. Look at those big ass candles there. That's a technical term, big ass candles. But I've got this as a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3 here. Let me see what I got going on here. Yeah. So this was minimum expected wave circle 3 target, or wave parentheses target. There we go. Oh my gosh, the stupid thing's moving around. So I think we've hit the third wave there. I've been saying for the longest time, because since we were back here around the end of 2022, I've been talking about how we were going to at least test the all-time high, probably break out higher. I see no reason to think it's any different now. We're getting pretty close to it. That's up there around $3,330. But here we go. Let's see. That would give us a 3 there. So that would give us a pullback toward 1121. Or a secondary target of 938 here, the 50%. But basically, it's carrying us back into this wick right here. And so this wick was supply when we rallied up through it. Now it flips to demand. So you should expect it to get caught in that most times. Okay. And as you can see, that 38.2 is right around the EQ of that. So I like that 38.2 target there. And then a rally off that will give us wave 5 of circle 3. Around 28.59. That's where we'll be looking for that 5 of 3 up there. But that, of course, is just 3 there. You know, we get these larger 1, 2, and 3. Still going to be much higher there. I think things could get crazy. Quite possibly. But for right now, locally, I'm looking for this pullback down here toward about $1,120, $1,121 to do that, okay? Trig, you said, yes, I did. I was there. Yeah. When I said that, yeah. I mean, it didn't make any sense not to, right? If we expect Bitcoin's going to do well, and he went all in. See, you guys have to understand with MicroStrategy, this is something I talked about a couple years back, but so he was flying. He was one of the tops of the .com bubble, and then boom, just crashed off so bad. Look at it. It went from $3,330, guys, in March of 2020. In March of 2000. To a low of $4.20 in July of 2002. So just over 2 years later, from $3,300 a share to $4.90, guys. So when you look here, we talk about bigger numbers here. Don't go, what? No, it doesn't makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of possibility. But here's the thing. You see what happened here? Look at this. He basically hit his swing high here around February of 07, right as we're getting into the great financial crisis, right? He made slightly higher highs going up into 2017. I've shown a chart before where he showed all his competitors, Tableau and all that other stuff. They all did this. He stayed way down here. It wasn't until he started buying Bitcoin that the company itself started actually going. And so I've shown that multiple times before. I know Gary Cardone recently has been talking about how he believes that what's his name, Michael Saylor had no choice. He had to do it, right? And I believe the same thing. He was getting his competition. He was nothing to his competition. His competition was just leaving. Everybody was leaving him. They were all, again, they were doing this by the time 15, 16, 17 came in. They were doing this, and he stayed flat, basically. Wasn't until he got into Bitcoin there that stocks started going up. So, he had to do that. Um, let's see here. CLSK. Let's see here. Insider sells entered a short target of $9 to $12 gap. Oh, let's see. CLSK. CLSK is the one we did great on. I think I mentioned that to you guys around $7 or something, $6. Let's go to the daily. Where are we at with the daily? So they're looking for a gap fill, basically, down in this area, looking to fill some gaps. So does it make any sense? I mean, yeah, that could potentially happen there. What I'm looking at this is we've got 3 waves down, but then we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 5, so 3 waves up. So if this is 3 down and this is 3 up, this is going to be a flat, and we should at least expect it to pull back around 14. At least this swing low area here at 1478. It could fall further, but we should at least look for that because a flat will have your 3 waves down for your A, your 3 waves up for B, which you get at least 90% of A, usually about 105, 110% of wave A, and then you get 5 down here. Let me see what these longer term looks like here. Look at all this selling that was still going on all the way through here, even on this rally here. But then look what happens when you pop out. Increases substantially there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It might end up being a flat. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Actually. Yeah. It's going to depend what happens here. It does look like, again, that we've got 3 waves down, followed by 3 waves up. Right? Which should then give us like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. Pull head up. So right now, that's probably what I'd be looking for. If we continue to get this pullback here, I'd be looking for that 1470 area or so initial. If it continues going through that, 12 and a quarter would be my next target. And if it goes through that, I'd probably look at 10 and a half. And then this 940 area. Those would be my targets if it continues to break down there. Does that make sense? So, yeah, but it's just a pullback, though. At the end of the day, it's just a pullback. So what I would look for, again, is if we're going to continue coming down here, I would look at that 1470 area, then 12 and a quarter, then 1051, then 940 or so. Those would be my targets if it continues to push down there. But again, the idea is that this is 3 waves down, this is 3 waves up, which means we're looking for 5 waves down toward one of those target areas, generally speaking, to finish off wave C. So I don't know that we necessarily have to fill in the gap either. So I'm going to change this to an A, B, and a C here. Now, the one thing that changes this is if we pull them back, let's say, I would say probably look right here around this 18 and a half, $19 area here. If it rallies off that and breaks out higher, then I would look at the idea that still 2 is done here, maybe. We get another one up, but I don't think so. I think we'll probably get that pullback um, down here toward those levels, but it should pull back at least below wave A. So that kind of gives you that, that $14 area. But then again, then we just look at the 50%, the 61.8, and the 70.5 as our targets on the way down from there. But again, understand this is just a pullback, okay? It's just a pullback. It's not, there's nothing going on here that suggests it's anything more than a pullback, and probably a pullback going into halving, right? The daily, we're breaking down out of overbought here. 3-day, just kind of iffy, some sideways there. Weekly's just got a big wick here after this wick. You're kind of hitting this this supply right here. You see this level right here. Oops. You see this support area right here? You see where we hit the resistance there? Hit it here. We hit it here. That's why it's going down, guys. It has nothing to do with news and whatever else. That's why you're getting rejected there, because of this supply in this area right here. Been rejected there, got rejected there, got rejected there, okay? News has very little of nothing to do on it. Again, is the previous support there before it drops down. So once you're through that, things start looking good. So, you kind of get up there, you pull back. By the way, you'll notice, see, if I'm looking here on the weekly, this would be, if we're going to get down here, this would be as far as I would really expect it to go. I expect that weekly pivot to hold this support. We do that. Does that make sense? So yeah. I think it's just an opportunity to probably buy back into it. For me anyway. That's the way I view it. Yeah. But again, if you only get this local pullback here, and then it rallies and breaks out higher, we can look at something else. But as long as it continues to break down through there, that's exactly where I'd look. I'm curious of your opinions of this Bitcoin cycle. Do you think this is a left-sided cycle, or do we see a super cycle? I don't know for sure. I've been arguing since the bottom, right? When people were talking about it, they're thinking it was more like 2015. And I said numerous times on this show, as a matter of fact, I said numerous times that to me, it looked a lot more like 2013. And if it's like 2013, then it's more like a super cycle, more like a double pump kind of top going on, which could really see us, potentially 3, 4, 500,000, even something like that. I don't know which one it is. Nobody knows. I hope you guys understand that, right? I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody else does. We do the best we can with the information and the knowledge and the, experience that we have. So I think, the best way to play it is to look for price to rally pretty strongly into at least Q3. And, once we're there, if you're still following me, I'll have counts looking at, have more updated counts along the way to kind of figure out, are we going to get much higher or not? But that's the way I usually tend to play things. If I'm not sure, if I'm really don't have a real strong feeling either way, I'll always aim at the lower targets. And then as we're getting near it, I'm watching the market, watching how it's acting, reacting, and then deciding, okay, are we maybe going to switch to that larger target? Because here's the thing, if you always go for the larger target, which is human nature, because we're greedy, right? We're greedy. And so if you're always looking at the larger target, the thing is, if it is the lower target and you don't get to that larger target, you have a lot of trouble letting go, taking whatever profits you have, locking them in, because you're like, but what if it goes up? Oh, it's got to go up. It's got to go up, right? And you put yourself in a bad situation. So always, always, always aim at the lower targets, and then with the mindset that, well, it could go to the larger targets. So let's at least look at the lower targets. And and this is honestly, guys, this is where it comes in. Do you really understand how to forecast price action? And I'm going to be honest with you, that's the tough thing, right? You have to understand how to do it, because there's ways to understand if it is a correction, right? Or is it maybe something more serious? Is it a reversal? Because even if you're looking at the low target and you're getting a correction, the last thing you want to do is be out of your position, because it's just a correction, right? You want to be out of your position, you're long, if you're not going to hold, for years. You just want to be out of your long if it's a reversal, not if it's a correction. But that's something that you have to learn, right? You have to actually learn, what that reversal versus a correction actually looks like. And, how are we understanding the market movements as they're going in? Let me see here. Wouldn't the Fed cutting rates signal the end of a stock rally, and usually crypto tops before stocks? So wouldn't that mean we could only see a crypto rally through Q2? Only if you believe that every single time that's what happens. But, again, it's kind of like when you think about the inverted yield curve, right? And everybody's like, oh, that means, recession's incoming, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But the markets have continued to go up, right? I think things are a lot different than what we're used to in the past. Probably spurred on by the excessive printing of dollars. And you have to remember, our dollar market here in the US is smaller than the euro dollar market. And the euro dollar market isn't another thing. The euro dollar is the dollar held in offshore accounts. And what happens is banks that have dollars in them over there can create more of those dollars over there, right? The same way that banks create more dollars here. So the actual size of the euro dollar market is really not known, but it dwarfs the size of the dollar market here in the US. So yeah, I don't, if they cut rates, probably going to put pressure on a rally, but they have to cut rates, right? And what did we see just to, recently with inflation and PCE and all that, it keeps pushing up, right? So when are they actually going to cut rates? And if they cut them, how much do they cut them? I think at this point, I think we're lucky if we get 1 or 2 cuts this year. And even those, I think, will be a paltry like quarter. I think it'll be just a quarter of a point. I don't think there's going to be anything massive coming in, anything strong or whatnot coming in with it. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different moving parts going on in that thought process. It's not just simply, oh, if they, if they cut rates, then that's it. I think liquidity keeps coming in. I don't have enough time right now to go on it because I'm already over. But I think the Fed's getting ready to be more proactive in its liquidity injection. And when it comes to Bitcoin and whatnot as well, again, it's not just US dollar liquidity. If China's pumping liquidity, if Europe's pumping liquidity, if Japan's pumping liquidity, if everybody's pumping liquidity, then it's that whole global thing because Bitcoin is, global. So yeah. Ronsicle, I appreciate that. Let me see here. I'm going to do one more chart here, guys, because I am already over almost 15 minutes here than what even my long show is, hour and a half. So let me see here. He said Maple. Okay, I asked about that earlier. MPL. Did I get rid of that chart? I did, didn't I? USDT. There we go. Why is that one coming up? Talked about that, right? But that's that one. All right, we'll just, yeah. All right. Rename that. Right here, BLUSDT. This is nice. Oops, can't even do it there the right way. That's nice. I don't like it overall as a cup and handle because you've got this low end point over here. But I do like this with the throw under. Rally up off that wedge. Looks like 1-2 here. Pullback of almost 70.5 almost. Let's see if we can just throw some numbers here real quick. I think it's like a 1-2. 1-2. Two. 3, 4. Yeah, not quite a 50% pullback there. Should get this in about right around $32.24. $31.24. Hit that. Looks like it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. 13.062, 13.361. Okay. Wave 3 just can't be the shortest. So it looks like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a leading or an ending diagonal here. Coming up out of that wedge. It's 5 of 3. Where does this take us? Should take us right. Yeah. So we rallied through the pivots here. Usually that signals an end to a rally, unless you get like some strong breaker coming through. So looking for this to pull back probably around $13.80. Could pull back to $10.71 to 50%, but we'll look at the shorter target first. Gives us like a 50 $52.93 target, which puts us 5 waves up right around previous swing high, which is what we generally look for. So locally, what do I want to see? So we want to see this continue to break down through the through this pivot area here. If we rally up first, that'll maybe say, we're still in progress here up to around for that wave 553 target up here at 38.83. If it breaks out, but basically from this kind of area here. But if it continues to break down through this, this kind of this area, this $18.90 area here, 1950 area. If we're breaking down through that, then we should be looking here at $13.80, potentially $10.70 or so. And then we're looking for the rally back up. Minimum expected up here around 52.93, 51.93. Oh, I put 52. And if it does pull back to the 50%, that'll give it just a slightly higher target there at around $60.73. But yeah, I mean, it's ending where we would expect it to normally, which is the swing high kind of area. Previous one there, okay? How probable is the wave patterns with volatility heightened, and where would you allow style placement? I don't do probabilities. Nobody does, guys. Listen, you always ask. I'm going to be honest with you guys. People ask, well, what kind of probability do you think is going to do this or that? Don't ever listen to anybody who actually gives you an answer, because I guarantee not a one of them has gone through the mathematical process to figure out statistically what that probability is. Okay, so all they're going to tell you is whatever they're going to tell you, which has no basis in any kind of anything that you really need when you ask that question. Okay. This is the thing why I'm telling people you got to learn how to trade. If you're just following somebody who's just telling you, listen, this is where we're going. Well, okay. They might happen. I can adjust on the way because I know what I'm doing, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to adjust targets on the way. And like you said, with increased volatility, you could see it, right? So like when we look for a wave 3, we go, okay, well, the initial target is the 1.618 extension of wave 1. That's initially where we look, but that's only a guideline. It's not even a rule, right? And if it goes through that, then we look at the 200%, then we look at the 2.618, then we look at the 3.618, right? But we know all this, as Elliott wave technicians, right? This is something we know. And so targets are always good until they aren't anymore. And like you brought up, I mean, you bring up a great point, with all the volatility, whatever, how good are targets, right? If you look back at my Bitcoin, chart here, right? I've continued to update the count, right? Remember, originally I had a 1 2 1 2, and then we had the ascending channel. And we got the nice breakout of that, and I said, okay, well, now it's likely this is a 1 2 heading up. But even this right here, right? Even this 1 2 has a minimum expected 3 up here at 115. But this the subdivisions here of the other waves, the volatility, right? The increased volatility, increased demand, lack of comparable supply, right? Gives us these subdivisions, which suggest that this wave 3, instead of being 115, may actually be closer to 170, right? So yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough if you don't know what you're doing. That's why I like to give on these shows and stuff like this. That's why I like to give the larger targets, not like the today target or this week target. I like to give the larger targets because it gives time for price action to play out, and we can adjust if we need to as it continues. Does that make sense? But I tell you guys, really, if you're going to be in the market, you have to learn how to do them. You have to. And I know sometimes you don't want to hear that. I know, I get it. That's life. Because again, I'm this one time here. Who knows when the next time I'm going to post another chart about that, right? Or that you'll get the opportunity to ask me and I'll have the opportunity to respond, right? There's no guarantee. So I try to give you guys the clearer, more likely targets on a little bit larger time frame, because that way it gives it room to move. It gives it room to do its thing, to go there. Worst case scenario usually is that it's going to overextend higher, or it might stop a little bit short. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can't adjust for that. And this is something that nobody else out there is telling you guys. Everybody else out there is like, oh yeah, pat me on the back, tell me I'm great. Or, just follow me. I'll give you signals all day long. Yeah, we run a signal service, but I run a signal service to show you that what I teach actually works, right? That's why I run the signal service that I run, because it's using the stuff that I teach in our group coaching and in C3. That's the exact same stuff. That's what I use to figure out the signals. Where's the entry? Where's the take profit? Where's the stop loss? So for me, the signals for me is a marketing tool for what I do with the group coaching. Because my thing that I believe is, if you're in the market, you really need to learn to do it. You have to learn to do it. Don't get used to relying on somebody. As I said at the beginning, they may not be there one day. And then what are you going to do, right? But if you learn to do it yourself, and you can learn it, you can. If you want to learn it, you can. I'm telling you guys right now. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence. I'm not saying you're stupid, but what I'm saying is you don't have to have, I know, like I've got 2 master's degrees and a law degree, right? That doesn't matter. That isn't why I do well with trading. I've got friends who barely made it through high school. I got one that never even finished high school, and he lives the life from trading that you're right now dreaming of. But he didn't finish high school. So it doesn't take book smarts and whatnot to do it. But it takes focus, it takes discipline, it takes consistency, it takes patience. It takes getting in touch with your emotions and understanding when you're being emotional. And then understanding the importance of proper risk management and how to actually do it, and then to do it consistently, because that protects you from yourself. Because even 30 years in, you're still going to get emotional at times, because we're human beings. That's what makes us human beings. Does it make sense? So I hope what I just said there makes a lot of sense there, guys. Okay. But yeah, that's because if I don't tell you this, I'm doing you a disservice. All right. Even if you're here just asking for targets, right, and you have no intention of actually learning, if I'm not telling you, listen, this is the reality. 30 years of doing this, talking to tens of thousands of traders over that time. This is the reality. But that's why I do what I do, guys. That's why I teach what I teach and how I teach it. That's why I continue to you say the same points over and over again. Those things that I repeat constantly, those are the things you guys need to pay attention to. Those are the things that are going to determine whether you're going to be successful or not. Anybody can learn to use systems and strategies and whatnot. What you get with us is you actually get this understanding of why markets move the way they do, how to use those tools then together to increase the odds of you being successful, what proper risk management is and how to employ it, and why it's important. Not just that you need to do it, but why is it important? Show you time and time again. And not only all that, but we also spend time explaining to you guys and trying to teach you guys how to approach the market. Just knowing how to use something, just knowing how to use Elliott Wave or Wyckoff isn't enough. You have to understand, well, how do I approach the market? Listen, this right here, understanding what was happening with ETFs and whatnot, understanding we had this breakout of this channel here, right? I got to get out of here. I'm late, but this channel right here, right? Having this breakout here, doing these things, understanding what the market's telling you there helps you apply the tools you're using much more efficiently and much better, much more successfully. Understanding what the market is doing, what is the market telling you, lets you know how you should approach it. And that right there is going to limit your losses a lot more and increase your profits a lot more than just simply knowing how to use the tools and jumping in there. Okay. So yeah, he's not on Twitter. Give us the guy that didn't finish high school's Twitter now. He's not on Twitter. He's living life. He doesn't care about social media. Yeah. So, but anyway, so I'm going to get out of here, guys. It's 1 o'clock. Geez, oh whiz, I went 2 hours on this. So Andrew, I'll check with you on the Bitcoin thing back there in the in TWC. Okay. I got to get out here. Otherwise I'm going to sit here all day long and I can't do that. I've got things I've got to get done. It's Good Friday. So, yeah, unfortunately I got to get out of here and close down. Well, I'm going to be out of TWC early today, but, hopefully you guys got a lot out of this. I'm telling you guys right now, jump in TWC, get 29% off. If you want to do the monthly, get 29% off your first month. If you want to do annual, 29% off the annual. That's huge because the annual already has a discount for being annual. 29% off the group coaching. We got 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. Any of that, if you apply yourself, is going to have the potential over the next month to change completely how you trade. If you apply yourself over the next 30 days, you're going to learn more what you're going through than what you've learned in the last year. So, and then you got great people in there with great charts as well. And like I said, our hot takes too, right? So I hope you guys have an absolutely great weekend. If you celebrate Easter, I hope you have a great Easter, whether it be, I guess the reason for the season, as they say, or just, searching for eggs with the kids. I really do hope you guys have a great weekend. Y'all trade safe. I might post some more thoughts on Twitter later today. So if you guys are following me there, TX West Capital, you can watch on there. I might have a few charts to post on there. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining in. I really appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. Remember, the only thing you control is how much you lose. That's it. So risk management is absolutely the most important thing you're going to do day in and day out as a trader. All right. Y'all have a great weekend. Take care. I will see you next week, or hopefully you'll join TWC and say hi in there, guys. We'd love to welcome you in. Okay. All right. Take care, everybody.